don't know if I mentioned, but this is a reverse harem story. I've never DNF'd the book so quickly. I was very, very naughty book. I could not put the book down. Like, I'm the one to blame. I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I've been in a pretty bad reading slump lately, and the only way I know to get out of it is by binging dark romances for a week. I just need to dive into the deep end and feel something, because after finishing Throne of Glass, I feel like I haven't really been able to get that sense of feeling that I got when I was connected to the characters. I'm not expecting that in the following books that I'll be reading. I just want to feel something. As a mood reader myself, probably just like you, I go through my seasons when I'm reading certain genres. I haven't read dark romance in a while. It's kind of like one of those things where I need a break from, but now I'm ready. So here we go. I have started reading Sea of Ruin, and this is a historical fiction. So let me just take you along. I don't know what else I'm gonna read for this week, but that's where we're starting. Good morning. I got to chapter 5 yesterday. Not much. It takes a while for me to get back into reading historical fiction. Historical fiction at first, it's like it feels a little bit silly just because of the verbiage. The girl that we're following is 14. I was considering not reading this because of the fact that she's 14, but I don't know where this is going. I'm only on page 44. Maybe it'll take a lot of time. We'll see. Our protagonist, she is the daughter of a well-known pirate, and he is a criminal. So he's been wanted for quite some time, and everyone knows him. Long story short, her parents, they're out. They're out of the picture in like the first 30 pages, which leaves her with nothing and no one. Thankfully, the dad has a crew of other pirates. They take her in, and that's where we're at right now. They're keeping her safe, and she's seeking refuge with the other pirates amongst her dad's ship and his crew. We'll see where this goes. I have a lot of reservations about continuing to read this book. I will continue to keep you updated. We're following a girl named Bennett, or Benedicta. She goes by like 2 different identities. She is a daughter of a well-known pirate who has since passed, and she has taken over his ship since she was 14 and worked her way up to her position now. There's people after her because she's also a pirate herself, and she's created some enemies of her own. What I'm gathering is she's a badass. She's 20. One of the main people that she's been running away from is another well-known pirate, and he ends up finding her, so she tries to get away from him, but she can't, and now she's stuck with him on her ship. So while I am reading Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin, I am also listening to the audiobook Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. And I wanted to listen to this in tandem while reading Pam Godwin's book because I needed to just jumpstart this whole situation. I told you I was in a reading slump, and I feel like the more books that I finish, the easier for me to get out of this whole situation. My logic might not be right. Beautiful Things by Emily Rath is kind of like Bridgerton. Everything that's historical fiction to me, I'm like, it's kind of like Bridgerton. But we're following a girl named Rosalie. Her mom just passed away, and she was invited to the Duchess's house. She gets to the Duchess's house and finds out that she is trying to set her son, the Duke, up with other eligible ladies in the town. But she's not really interested in the Duke. In fact, she is not attracted to him at all. The person that she's actually attracted to is the Duke's brother, his best friend, and another childhood friend. So that's where we are in the story. She likes all three of these men. I don't know where this is gonna go. I could probably take a guess. I just got back from a run. We ran 4 miles today. Don't make fun of my time. I'm doing my best. Also, it's really hot today. Anyways, I was listening to Beautiful Things during my run. I'm 75% into the book. When I tell you that I had to pause the audiobook during my run because it was messing with my focus. I have listened to audiobooks while running before, but I seriously had to pause because I was like, I was gasping. It was messing with my breathing pattern while I was running. So I ran with no music, no audiobook for the rest of the time because it's getting to that point. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a reverse harem story. So yeah, I'm not like hyping it up to be, oh my gosh, it's breathtaking. It was just like, you know, in historical fictions or just in historical romance novels where they're like so reserved and they're like, oh my lord, please. It feels dirtier than what it actually is. It's not even a dark romance, but it is a reverse harem story. So this could be a good recommendation for you.
Tightened his hold. His making for quiver. After a moment he pulled back, as Bert watched, one hand still on his shoulder. Together, until you come apart, keeping his face low to her. Just when she thought she couldn't take any more. At once, her head fell.
I crimped my hair for the first time ever, and I don't know how I feel about it. I got a crimper because it's summer. It feels like such a summer hairstyle, you know, but I don't know. Don't tell me if it looks weird. Tell me if it looks cute. Just kidding. Okay, sorry if I keep messing with my hair. I just feel a little weird and uncomfy right now, but I wanted to tell you that I finished Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. Just to give you a little backstory again, sorry if I already did, but we're following Rosalie. Rosalie, she is totally anti-marriage. She doesn't want to be tied down. She feels like her freedom will be compromised when she's married. So she's just not into it. But she does like 3 of the guys that are living in the Duchess's house. And all 3 of them, essentially, they're like, we all love the same girl. We're all homies anyway. I'm cool with it if you're cool with it. Meanwhile, Rosalie, she's like, if another girl looks at my man the wrong way, it's a problem. So it's kind of like a double standard situation. It was really spicy. I wouldn't say it's dark romance. It is a very spicy book. I did not know that this was a series. So I was left with a cliffhanger. I got what I read the book for, which is a little bit of spice just to like, you know, zhuzh it up a little bit. What I didn't like was Rosalie. She was giving Lord Varys. She was just like in everyone's business. She's very pretty, so she got the pretty girl privilege. That was just my opinion. Okay, in other news, I am still reading Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. At first, honestly, I was like, this is very toxic. But then when you get to the actual plot of the book, you're like, oh my gosh, this is freaking dark, hot, whatever, all of the above. But then you start kind of questioning, why am I liking this right now? Like, this isn't who I am. And that's how you know you're reading a dark romance book. But then, I don't know, I feel like I keep going through a roller coaster of emotions. We will see. How to feel. I finished Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. I've never read a book quite as dark as this. Definitely read your trigger warnings for this, because this was a heavy book to read and felt so bad for the protagonist. She goes through so much. I don't know how she's functioning. The writing was so beautiful, how the author forms emotions and devotion for one another. She does it so beautifully. But you know what? Interestingly enough, even though I'm saying that it is such a heavy book, I didn't feel the emotions that I feel like I was supposed to feel. I feel like I could have been more moved, but I wasn't. And maybe that's because I just felt like really detached from the characters. And to that point, it's just possibly a me thing. The writing, again, really done well. Pacing, not great. Storyline, I was not expecting it. Now let's talk about spice and smut level. Is it the whole book? No, like it's not like a few pages at a time where there's like a lot of smutty scenes, but the foundation of this story is smut, but there's so much more plot to it. Like there's so much more than just the spice. With that being said, I did decide to read another book. It's Broken Bonds by Jay Bree. From how I'm understanding this is that in this book, there are people who are gifted and who are not gifted. Those who are gifted, from what I believe, they all have bonds. They may have more than one bond. Essentially kind of like a mate in the Fae world, but you can have more than one at a time. So it is a reverse harem story. I started reading it. I'm on chapter 2. The writing to me already is throwing me off. What am I reading right now? I'm definitely gonna give it a try though. I can't. I'm DNFing this book. Where's the creative writing? Like, how many more times do you need to say the word fuck in one page, in one paragraph? It feels like she can't think of any other words besides curse to express her emotion. So therefore, I am DNFing this book. Like, I've never been so annoyed reading something. I'll think of what else to read next and then I'll update you. Okay, I found another book to read last night. Can we just take a moment to how quickly I DNF'd a book? I've never DNF'd a book so quickly. I was page 32, I believe, and then I DNF'd it right away. That just shows you how much I really just had no more patience to go on. Typically, I would want to, I guess, give it the benefit of the doubt, but it felt like it was just such an immature dialogue and read. But anyways, I am currently reading Sicko by Amo Jones. Actually, one of you recommended for me to read Amo Jones, and I just remembered. Now is the perfect time for me to read it. I'm flying through this book right now. She did have a heavy trigger warning at the beginning of the book, but remember that I wanted to really get over my reading slump, and I feel like this book is kind of getting me there just because how quickly I'm going through this. I am already at chapter 4. Okay, actually, I'm already at chapter 8. I'm already 15% into the book. I literally just started this yesterday. That just shows you. That just shows you how much more invested I am. So far, what we know is the main character that we're following. I forget her real name, but they call her Duchess, and she is a foster child of a really influential, really rich billionaire family, and she has an attraction to her stepbrother. So her stepbrother runs away. That's where I am in the book. So he's run away and they're like two peas in a pod. So growing up, they were like always tight. They always had each other's back. He always looks out for her. He's very, very, very protective over her. But since he's run away, I don't know how she's gonna deal with this. So we will see. Currently making a grilled cheese sandwich, but I wanted to update you. I could not put the book down. Like, I was sacrificing my bedtime because I just wanted to keep reading, and if that happens to you, you know it's a good book, at least for me right now. Although I will give you a quick update. So I think I last mentioned that her foster brother ran away. That's her safe person. She was a foster child and his family took her in and he ran away just like everyone else in her life. She has been in shambles. 4 years have passed since he's ran away and she has gone through so much. Basically, a new character is introduced. We don't know exactly the background of this character. We just know what the character does to Jade, which is the main character, but unfortunately, I have a pretty strong feeling that I know who it is. It's really interesting so far. It's a very naughty book. I mean, I'm getting what I came for. I wanted something dark. You're getting what you came for because you clicked on this video, and this is the Dark and Spicy book reading vlog. So, don't be surprised of what you're getting. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm right, and I called it. You know how I said that there was a mysterious character that was introduced and I knew who it was, or I had a feeling? Well, I knew, and I know who it is. They have officially revealed it. I was already reading the story knowing that character, that mysterious character in mind. With the way that it was revealed and the way that the characters are responding to this mystery person finally being out in the open, it just kind of, it doesn't ruin my experience. It just kind of loses its flair that it's meant for me to experience. I'm just like, oh, it would have been cooler if I didn't know. And it makes me wonder, did the author think that people would guess this person right off the bat? And if so, with that in mind, would she have written it differently? So I have a lot of mixed feelings about this book, just knowing the mysterious character being revealed and just kind of not being fully supportive about this relationship dynamic and its toxicity. It's just, I'm almost done with the book, so I will let you know how I feel when I finish it. What the fuck did I actually just read? I got to like the 90th percent of the book, and it just gradually got worse and worse and worse. And it almost like I'm confused because I know that so many people love this book that I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why do I not like this book like at all? I've never read Wattpad before, but I feel like by the definition of how people have described Wattpad, this is exactly what that would give. Maybe I just don't love mafia stories, or in this case, like biker romances. Like, it was just so ridiculous. The whole storyline just became more and more ridiculous. Let me just reenact exactly what I was going through as I was reading the last few chapters of this book. What? Where the fuck did that come from? You have issues. The whole family has issues. Look, the purpose of this video was for me to get into dark romance just so I could feel something to get me out of my reading slump. And I'm telling you, I think it totally accomplished that, because now I'm ready to read more books that actually has good substance, or maybe I'm just ready to read other books in general because I feel like I've dove into the spicy dark romance that I like need a break. Maybe something more easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. But yeah, man, what did I put myself through in this video? Because that was kind of like a lot. And you know what? I'm the one to blame. I'm the one to blame. I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. The first book, A Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. Never ever have read a book like that. Out of this video, that is one that I would definitely recommend if you want something just completely different. Historical fiction, a pirate story, MMF. Like I said before, definitely check your trigger warnings for every single one of these, but I'm telling you, you would not have read another book like Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. The other book was Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. That one was cute, a little bit easier. It's a series, so keep in mind that it's the first book in the series. The other book, Broken Bonds, I don't even remember the author. Maybe if you're like 18, 19, 20. It's just the language for me. It's just the way the author wrote and expressed feelings. I just absolutely could not stand it. And then this particular book, Sicko by Amo Jones, I know that she's a very popular author in this genre, which is why I was like really shocked when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not loving this at all. At first I was like, okay, she warned us it's gonna be very, very heavy topics, but I feel like she just threw so much at you that it's almost like all of the resolution to everything that was thrown at you was like, there we go, we crossed that off the list. Some of them did not even make sense. The thing that really pissed me off about this is the ending. The ending did not have to be that way. Here you have it. This is my experience with only reading dark romance for a week, maybe a little bit over a week, I'm being honest. At least now I'm completely out of my book slump only because I want to read other things now. I'm ready to get back out there, go back to my romance, fantasy, science fiction, maybe even self-development books, because let's be honest, I do need a little bit more of that right now in this point of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. Thank you again so much for watching and spending time with me. My name is Emmy. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post again. I appreciate you. Thank you.